We are Stan and Petya and we travel the world most of the year. Welcome to episode 2 of our Edinburgh adventure. Till now we have enjoyed the Royal Mile, visited Edinburgh Castle and the Palace of Holyrood House, and ended our day climbing Arthur's Seat, or at least looking at it. Today will be another very eventful day in Edinburgh, which will finish with the famous military tattoo. As usual, you can use this vlog as a travel guide if you plan to visit. If not, let's enjoy our world together. We will start with something different. We have booked a guided tour to understand more about the history of Old Edinburgh and get exclusive access to the underground vaults below South Bridge. Have we mentioned that we visited during the Fringe Festival?
We are still kids, but we're so in love.
Right, back to the tour. That's our guide, Linda. Edinburgh was a compact city with high buildings behind a city wall, where the rich and poor lived together. There was no canalization and people even threw their night soil through the window. At some point it was safe enough for the rich to move out of the area we are visiting and it became a slum. The South Bridge was built for the rich to go over the slum when visiting the Royal Mile. We are now going down the vaults below South Bridge to see what activities took place there. During the 18th century, this room was a tavern where the rich and poor would gather to drink French wine and beer while dining on oysters. Because of high taxation, illegal whiskey stills were very popular in Scotland till 1823, and what a fitting place for one. By the 1820s, conditions in the vaults were so damp that all the legal businesses moved out and more criminals moved in. At this time, Edinburgh became a major centre of enlightenment, and the medical schools desperately needed fresh corpses for study, and using bodies this way was entirely against the law. The cool temperature in the vaults provided perfect conditions for the body snatchers to store corpses after stealing them from nearby graveyards and before delivering them to the medical schools. That was very educational. Let's continue our exploration of Edinburgh with a short visit to the National Museum of Scotland. And that's Dolly the Sheep, the first mammal ever cloned from adult somatic cell on July 5, 1996 at the Roslin Institute just outside Edinburgh. Right. Before visiting the Holyrood Distillery, let's look at Greyfriars Kirkyard. It is always open and is famous for two things. The first is Bobby the Skye Terrier. After his owner's death, Bobby reportedly guarded the grave in the kirkyard for 14 years. In 1961, Disney turned the story of the Royal Dog into a movie. And the second is that many Harry Potter characters took their names from gravestones in the cemetery. Because Scotland is so famous for its whiskey, we booked another guided tour. We can't film inside, but we took some pictures, so let's look at them and learn how whiskey is made. You need 3 basic ingredients to make whiskey: water, barley and yeast. The first step is to soak the barley in water and then leave it out for several days to sprout. Then we stop the germination process by drying the grain over a clean oven. The malt develops a smoky taste if you add a peat to the driving fire. Then, after some processing, the malt is pumped into fermentation tanks where yeast turns sugars into alcohol. We are now ready to distill. We heat the malt so the alcohol evaporates, then cool down the vapors to collect it. We distill once more to remove all harmful substances. The alcohol content now is 65 to 70%. Then we mix it with water and store it in oak barrels, from where the whiskey gets 70% of its taste and color. The American oak gives it a white color and the European oak a darker one. By law, to be a Scottish whiskey, it needs to mature in a barrel for at least 3 years. 1.5 to 2% of the liquid gold evaporates annually, the so-called angel's share. That's what makes aged whiskey more expensive. After a few drinks, I think Petya is passing the walking in a straight wine test, right? She was even able to find 10 pounds. Let's rest a little before finding something to eat. Petya is eating something with mushrooms grown in the basement. And I'm eating haggis, the national dish of Scotland. It's made from sheep or beef heart, liver and lungs, mixed with oatmeal and spices, and served with potato mash. It's very delicious. We will finish our beautiful day in Edinburgh with the world famous Royal Military Tattoo, a spectacular event that runs for 3 weeks alongside the Edinburgh festivals. Early bird tickets are between 42 and 950 pounds and sell out quickly.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Let the story begin.
Thank you for spending this beautiful day with us.
We hope to see you in our next episode from Edinburgh, so please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.